Hello and welcome again to Three Swords Tarot. Today we are looking at number 2 in the Major Arcana, the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess, there is quite a lot of confusion as to who she actually is. Some people depict her as the Virgin Mary or the Mother Goddess because she is dressed in white and blue and she has a cross at her throat. Other cards or decks depict her as the Egyptian goddess Isis, and you can clearly see the Egyptian influences in this particular deck. Other decks or other people consider her to be Persephone, the Greek goddess of spring and rebirth, because of the fact there is often a pomegranate on the High Priestess card, either in her hand, near her, or sometimes in the original Rider-Waite deck, there are little pomegranates dotted around on the curtain. This is the fruit that the Greek god Hades tricked Persephone into eating so that she could stay in the underworld with him and become his bride. Rather a nasty trick, but whatever. Other people believe that the High Priestess is actually the Pope Joan, who was a woman who dressed as a man in order to become Pope. They only found out she was a woman when she gave birth, which was quite a bit of a giveaway. And it just proved that they weren't that observant back then. I mean, I'm sure there were lots of other ways that they could have figured out she was a woman, but men never see the obvious things. The High Priestess is often viewed as a maiden or a single woman, whereas the Empress, the next card, is considered a married woman or a pregnant woman, a mother. So the High Priestess is often seen as I said, a single woman, so she is strong, independent, and marches to the beat of her own drum. Unfortunately, in some readings, especially when they're for men or when they're for a romantic reading, when the High Priestess turns up and the Empress is somewhere in the deck, the High Priestess suddenly represents the mistress or the other woman, which is kind of a shame that they ruin the whole thing, but unfortunately sometimes that happens with tarot. My favourite card of the High Priestess by far is the card from the Sierra Machete deck. I like this card because the woman, the High Priestess, is older. She has some crow's feet, some wrinkles around her mouth and her jowls, but she has age, and with age comes wisdom. And that's the point of the High Priestess. She is the counterpart to the Hierophant, or the Pope card. With the Pope, his knowledge is passed down from person to person. His knowledge lies in tradition. It is borrowed knowledge. Whereas the High Priestess' knowledge comes from her own life experience. Her knowledge is found by herself and used by herself. That is why the owls are there. She is a wise woman. She is someone to be revered, not somebody's mistress. Here we see again the pomegranate. So this could be Persephone, could not be. The pomegranate is also the fruit of female divinity, but also the abundance that comes with illumination and enlightenment, which is what the 12 candles on her head or as part of her headdress represent. The High Priestess card is also the card of mysteries, secrets, and the subconscious, and that's what the curtains behind her represent, the veil between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. These kind of curtains are similar to the ones on the other card. Sometimes the High Priestess has the curtains, Sometimes she has the two pillars that represent the pillars from King Solomon's temple, one representing strength and completion, the other representing stability and new beginnings. Overall, the High Priestess is one of the stronger female cards in the deck, with the most female energy to it. When it comes to the High Priestess in reverse, it may indicate that secrets are being unveiled, being discovered. The High Priestess in reverse also represents silence and going within yourself. So rather than sharing your knowledge and wisdom, you're keeping it tight inside to your chest. But this is still, as I said, one of my favourite depictions. Another depiction here where, again, we have the pomegranates, we have the two towers from King Solomon, but we also have the night aspect of it, which does make me think more that this one actually is depicting Persephone, because you've got the lightness, which is her aspect as the goddess of spring, and then you've got the darkness, which is her role as goddess of the underworld. So this is another one of the cards I favour. Plus she has a little black kitty, which is always cool. You must always have a little kitty in your life. Okay, that's all I have to say on this particular card. So thank you for watching my Three Swords Tarot videos, and I hope you take a look at my Facebook page that is listed below in the descriptions.